One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Shit, day by day, mother truckers, everybody. Much love, honor, and respect to everybody. Hopefully, you're all having a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever the hell you guys are from. Much love and respect. Guys, we got an interesting one that is happening right now. I mean, it's pretty much breaking. It happened about 2 hours ago. And we have breaking news that Netanyahu halts Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. And of course, we're going to get into that here in a moment. But we got to do our call to actions first before we do. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Helps out the show immensely. And it's free to do so. You know what else is free? If you guys are brand new, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the show, obviously. Appreciate you guys. Also, please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month, man. We made sure that it is cost affordable for everybody. For the most part, anyways, can't say everybody, but, it helps out. This right here helps out the show immensely. And you guys get the breakfast only members live stream every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. CST, man. Also, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only myself, but of the show, as well as Millennial Food Time. This is like better than my phone number, everybody. So hit me up over there. And the Discord is in the link in the description right now as well. Also, if you guys would like to help out the show, of course, every super chat, super sticker, gift and membership signups, all of that are shouted out. But of course, we have these scrolling on the bottom here. If you guys would like to help out the show and skip that brutal 30% YouTube cut, of course, I'll shout you out and read your message over there. So everybody, I appreciate all of you legends coming in and hanging out with us this morning. We got Barbie up in here. We got Tats as well. We got Steve Easy. Yes, man. And by the way, yes, I'm going to buy myself a new DSLR camera. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to fucking bite the bullet and do it. They're expensive as all get out, but hey, we'll do anything for the quality and also, and it'll stop some technical problems that I'm having. Now last night we had to push the Diamond Effect back until tonight at 7 p.m. because believe it or not, Archbishop's internet went out. You know what I mean? And he had to reset everything. He had to actually like go from the 5G network to the 2.6 or 2.4, whatever it is, because his shit just kept dropping. He just would come in after resetting everything and then get dropped. It sucked. So we're doing that shit tonight. Mount High up in the building. Good to see you, kind sir, as well as Brother SNS. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us, as well as Emerald. Hopefully you're having a good morning as well. Appreciate you. I was in the chat playing trivia last night. The questions was top rated movies. I thought X-rated and put Debbie Does Dallas. They all think I'm a degenerate now. That's hilarious. Whose show were you doing that on? That's awesome. I mean, I don't watch movies, so I don't, you know what I mean? I can't even relate or understand, but only a few more days left of an incompetent commie libtard president. Yep, we got 4 days. 4 days, you know what I mean? It couldn't get here quick enough. Good morning, Mike and everyone. What's up, Carney? What's up, brother Straight Jacket? My ninja. Hopefully you're doing well. We got Shadow up in the building as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this morning, man. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you guys decided to be right here with me and Lucy back here. I see you guys. I and Lucy over here. Barbie, always. Sage, Outcast. Good morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Brother Dean saying evening all. Much love, honor, and respect over there from Israel, man. Big W. Your state is the topic of today's show, as you guys can all see. We got allegedly in here saying morning. Hope you're all well on this snowy morning. You know, I'm so glad that we only dealt with snow for 1 day. 1 day cleared up. The next day, I mean, we were driving the next day. It was no big deal. In our normal cars, not the 4x4 trucks and shit like that. You know, there was no snow or anything, no ice. The next day, it was perfect. Now I do hear that it's going to snow here again, like on the 22nd or something like that. But then it's going to be another 1 day ordeal, or if two, maybe two. What's good? We got War Gorilla up in here. Good to see you, you delinquent. Yeah, good to see you, man. Yeah, Frank, I believe it. Especially with this topic. I'm surprised that more things have not been blocked yet. From Bumbly, what's up? Good morning. I see you up in here. Hopefully you're doing well. This chat always wins. That's a big fact, by the way. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm see, like I'm a whole different generation. You know what I mean? I don't even relate to a lot of that shit. What's up, Miss Lotus? Hopefully you're doing well over there in Florida as well. Shit. Triple D is a cult classic. Shit. Triple D back when the prawn had bushes. Yeah. I mean, back when you had to have a treasure map and a fucking candle, you know, find your way through. You have to. Do you remember having to blow on the seam to find it? Like, so, this is all some shit that is like, you would think that I would have no idea about it. Yeah, that's so funny. I'm here listening, a little busy at the moment, but I will be in the background for a bit. Hey, man, I always appreciate you just being able to be here and listening and tuning in or whatever. I don't know what's going on. Just got back from the grind, so I'm rolling one and trying to find out. Deathly quiet here in the how do I say that? Kibbutz. Not even a machine gun for the last few hours. Calm before the storm. Yes, it is the calm before the storm, and you're going to see why we're about to bring up the media right now. You know, this is what I was telling Steve. He's like, I'm like, how you doing this morning? He goes, man, I'm tired and cold. I'm like, man, I wouldn't know shit about being cold. I mean, I got AC, I got a heater, I got, you know what I mean? Like, unless I'm like outside nonstop, which I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, even when I go somewhere, I'm hopping in my car to drive somewhere. Then I walk out in the outside for like 10 steps from the parking lot to the restaurant or wherever I'm going. So I'll show up just like this because I know I'm walking from a warm house into a warm car and then into a warm restaurant. So I'm like, no need for me to have coats and all this shit. Everyone's all bundled up and shit. I just show up like this. Everyone's like, damn, dude, you just dressed like summer over here. What's up, KP? Hopefully you're doing well, my man. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the news on this. So this is breaking. Netanyahu halts Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Jeanne Francine. We transition to other top stories and breaking news alerts on this Thursday.
This is one of my band's T-shirts, Reno Divorce. If you're ever interested in what I play, like guitar-wise, check out Reno Divorce. Hell yeah. Appreciate you, dog.
Morning. Right now, I want you to take a live look out in Khan Yunis, Gaza, as we are following breaking news as it relates to conflicts in the Middle East. Early this Thursday, AP reporting that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says,
"What's up, Evil Rick?
That
Good
a
morning.
last-minute crisis with Hamas was holding up Israeli approval of a long-awaited agreement to pause the fighting in the Gaza Strip and release dozens of hostages," end quote. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have killed dozens of people across the...
what's up, brother Lee Lance? He's over there on the Facebook side right now. Hey, appreciate you always. Hopefully you're doing well this morning.
Or ravaged territory, according to the Associated Press. They go on to say Netanyahu's office said his cabinet won't meet to approve the agreement until Hamas backs down, accusing it of going against...
You know, it's so funny, Dean, especially this reporter right here, every single time that they, on Live Now from Fox, every single time that they bring like a live picture like this, they always say that. They always say in communist Gaza, the hospital has gone down. In communist Gaza, they always say that shit. I don't know why. I know why, but it's interesting the nomenclature picks between the media outlets. You know what I mean? Because you would never hear communist Gaza from CBS, NBC, all the left-wing media, But hey, it is what it is, right?
Parts of the agreement in an attempt to gain further concessions. A lot to dissect this morning, so we want to bring into the conversation Fox 5.
Les Paul, my man. Gibson Les Paul. I run a studio. It's a single body, all one piece of wood. Yeah, it's not a bolt-on neck. Anyways.
New York's Haley Fixler. Haley, good morning to you. What can you share with us at this hour?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, Israeli leaders are saying that Hamas is now making some new last-minute demands and are backtracking on previous arrangements and agreements. And as you mentioned...
Yo, brother Pitbull up in here over there from England, man. I always appreciate you hanging out with us. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Very much appreciate that.
The Israeli cabinet, they were set to vote and approve the ceasefire hostage deal today, but that meeting has now been canceled. A lot of people were very excited yesterday when they thought this was a done deal, but now it looks like a waiting game.
A ceasefire.
Shit, it wasn't a done deal the second it was made. I mean, it was a phase of a deal anyways. So, Steve says Israel must be sick of that moron Benjamin Netanyahu by now. Yeah, but here's the thing. Netanyahu knows, and this can be a hot take, but Netanyahu knows that if he doesn't have like this continuous war, he's not going to be in office. He knows that he needs war for his votes, essentially.
And a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas.
In his farewell address, President Joe Biden shared with the country the details of the new ceasefire and hostage release deal. He says his administration helped broker between Israel and...
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Come on, man.
And Hamas. President-elect Donald Trump also sent his own envoy to work with Biden's group. He threatened there would be, quote, hell to pay if the hostages were not released by the time.
Exactly why this is even a thing right now. Has nothing to do with the Biden administration.
And he took office. It's been 468 days since Hamas launched their attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023, taking 251 people hostage, including women and children, and killing more than 1,200 people. For the last year and a half, the war has killed thousands on both sides.
That's right. Roberto. Yeah, he's the fucking op.
There's been so much death. So this has to happen.
While details are still being worked out, family members of those who were killed on October 7th have some hope for the other families impacted. Andrea Weinstein's sister and brother.
Tiffany, make sure you drive safe over there. Appreciate you. I saw brother Lee Lance in the chat, but on the Facebook side. So good to see you both.
Both American citizens were murdered in the terror attack. Hamas is holding their bodies captive in Gaza. Yifat Zayler's cousin and her family were kidnapped by Hamas. Kafir is the youngest of the hostages. He was taken when he was 8 months old. He will turn 2 years old in captivity on Saturday.
These days are horrible for us. It's time to end this. There won't be any more opportunities like this. It's time to bring home our people.
Officials confirmed the tentative deal will be broken into 3 phases over 42 days, originally set to begin
three different phases. 3 motherfucking phases.
Sunday. In phase 1, Hamas says they will release 33 hostages.
Which 2 of them are Americans.
including 2 Americans, 65-year-old Keith Siegel and 35-year-old Sagi Dekelchen. In return, Israeli officials are set to release 1,000 jailed Palestinian prisoners. The temporary ceasefire will also allow additional humanitarian aid to go into Gaza and the removal of Israeli forces from some areas of Gaza. Many on both sides are hoping this will signal better times ahead for everyone.
I hope this war will end and have peace between the Israeli and the Palestinian.
We are very hopeful that will really take place because this has been a long struggle for the past 15 months. For all these innocent kids.
You almost said 15 minutes.
And elder people.
Now, if a ceasefire agreement is reached, a third American hostage, Edan Alexander, he's from New Jersey. He is set to be released in that second phase of the deal. The UN also says they'll add additional humanitarian aid to Gaza.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. A lot of them are just Americans. Like American dual citizenship. You know, a lot of people in Israel are dual citizens of the United States. It's crazy. Well, they were like born in the United States and then got their citizenship, later.
Live at the UN, Haley Fixler, back to you.
Haley Fixler with Fox 5 New York. Stellar and detailed reporting. Haley, as always, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Want to take you back out to Khan Yunis, Gaza at this hour, 6:18 here.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Straight Jacket, peace meaning postpone the war, right?
On the East Coast, and you can see how people have flocked to that area. Now, this is an area.
Man, that looks fucking hectic as shit, man. That is crazy. Hell no. That looks like some like crazy motorcycle rally. You know what I mean? That's like the strip of fucking the Middle East version of Sturgis. You know what I mean? Holy shit. Fuck that shit.
As we know, that has been very prone to the conflict. You can see how buildings have been ravaged from the airstrikes on both sides. Concerns at this hour of what that post-war plan looks like. We know from the very beginning, there was a lot of pressure on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from several world leaders to share what that post-war plan looks like, concerns of the looming humanitarian crisis. And if we're being frank, we know that humanitarian crisis existed far before October 7th began. But since the fighting, that humanitarian crisis has gotten far worse. Concerns about what UNRWA will do to help with basic necessities that innocent people in this area who had nothing to do with the war need in real time. So a lot of unanswered questions. And right here on Live Now from Fox, we are working to get those answers to you.
All right. So now we're going to go ahead and bring our attention over to the next segment. The same topic, but about an hour and a half later in the live stream, there was another kind of like an update, as well as somebody that was, I don't know if he's a reporter of some sort. I think he's an independent journalist or something like that. So we'll find out where he's from. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, 8:31 here on the East Coast. And we are following breaking news, which takes us out to the Middle East. The Associated Press reporting that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says today that, quote, a last-minute crisis with Hamas is holding up Israeli approval of a long-awaited agreement to pause the fighting in the Gaza Strip and to release dozens of hostages. That shot going out, but we do have Fox News correspondent Trey Yings there on the ground to share the very latest. Trey, good morning to you.
So it's a Fox reporter over there in, it looks like Tel Aviv.
On your end.
Yeah, absolutely. Today we are learning that according to the Israelis, the ceasefire isn't yet ready to be signed. Last night, you had both President Biden and President-elect Trump on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and they were speaking about the success of these negotiations and ultimately reaching a deal. This morning, the Prime Minister's office released a statement claiming that Hamas had basically gone back on some of their commitments in this agreement.
Like what?
we know now is that Hamas says they're still looking at the deal on the table, and they
what's the last minute crisis
basically laid out. And so it's
okay. So Netanyahu postpones the Gaza ceasefire deal over Hamas. last minute crisis. Okay, well, tell us what the crisis is.
Not clear what specifically the prime minister's office is talking about. But again, today we are waiting to see if there will be this critical cabinet vote that would push this deal forward into a 48-hour waiting period. The Supreme Court in Israel would have a chance to see objections. And then even by Sunday, you could start to see hostages come out of Gaza. But as things stand right now, there is no deal, according to the Israelis. But the Americans, the Qataris, and Hamas say the agreement is still in place. So it is a bit of a mess here on the ground, waiting to get some more clarity.
Sounds like a mess.
Exactly happening in Doha, Qatar.
Trey Yinks there, always stellar reporting. Trey, I see you are at Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. And
we got brother AU up in the building. Good to see you.
On the weekends, many families come together to plead to the Israeli government for the release of those hostages. We know in just a few moments, David Mencer, the Israeli government spokesperson, will be giving a briefing despite the cabinet not meeting. What are you hearing from those out there? What's the mood? Do you feel celebration out there, or is it still tense with the unknown?
Oh, it's tense.
There's a mixture of feelings here in Israel about this agreement because there's an understanding that while some of these hostages will come home alive, many will not. It's believed that around half of the hostages that remain in Gaza were killed by Hamas or died at some point during the conflict. You also have
Dean, I think one of your comments got blocked because I don't see the one previous to this to reference that. I think you got blocked. Feels bad, huh? Your own people doing it? God, anytime we talk about you guys, just fucking nukes the chat.
Where there's a massive disagreement in what the Israelis have to give up as a result of getting these hostages out. There will be hundreds of Palestinian prisoners released, some of them convicted of terrorism charges. And so there are a mix of emotions here in Tel Aviv and across this country. People waiting to see if Sunday will lead to the release of some hostages that nearly 500 days into this war, these families have been waiting to be reunited with their loved ones. And it really gives you a sense, though, of how difficult this has been for the Israelis.
What's up, Bob, over there in Canada? Always appreciate you for hanging out with us.
Families
Good morning.
Here in Hostage Square. You speak with officials and you speak with everyone in between. This has been a nightmare for the Israeli people. They were attacked on October 7th with Hamas coming into their country, into the kibbutzim, into these communities along the border and slaughtering civilians and dragging others back into the Gaza Strip.
Which is crazy, Dean, because part of the deal on the ceasefire is the amount of aid that they're going to give them, which is a lot of aid. That's part of the deal. So that's crazy that if that's even an argument, on their side, that'd be kind of crazy. That's wild.
Beginning of this conflict, you had top officials, not just the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but the country's former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and others demanding that these hostages be freed, trying to put pressure on Hamas to get them to the negotiating table to reach an agreement that we are looking at right now. But in the process, Israel has lost more than 400 of their own soldiers since the ground operation started. So it's been an incredibly challenging time for this country. Both the Israelis and Palestinians have paid an incredibly high price. And as we look forward here, the entire region hopeful that some sort of agreement can get together to get these hostages out of Gaza and ultimately create an exit ramp for this conflict.
At this point, I only care about the fucking hostages. That's all I give a shit about at this point. Listen, man, I guess I got to be 100% honest. Not only that, but I sit here and I watch, essentially I'm somebody that follows the money. Like my dad always taught me that growing up. He goes, son, if you ever want to figure out the truth about something, follow the money. And I kept that with my mindset. And I think that's helped me guide myself in politics was essentially that. Was like, just follow the money. Do a little bit of research, find out where the money's going and who it's going to, who's making the payment, and why. I mean, the money will tell you why. You don't even have to actually look for the reason. The money will tell you the narrative. Yeah, it's kind of insane. But I do that, and I watch observing, like Ukraine, for instance. Same thing with Israel. Even though we don't pay them hand over fist, cash straight up, we do a lot of different type of resource help. Whole different type, whether it's military aid or whatever the fuck. So, anyways, back to this.
Trey Yingst, it's always a pleasure when we get to have you here with us on Live Now from Fox. And thank you so much for that perspective. We've heard from families, and they said even if their loved ones aren't alive,
yeah, money or bodies, right?
Want their bodies so they can have a proper funeral.
Brother Blair,
so
good to see you, man. Good morning.
That perspective. As always, thank you so much for joining us, and you be safe out there, Trey, as you work to keep us informed.
Thank you.
Right now, I want to give you a live look out in communist Gaza as Trey so eloquently
in communist Gaza
put it, people from all sides coming out there. Some people happy with the decision, some people worried because there's still so many unknowns. As we get more information, you'll be the first to know right here on Live Now from Fox. 8:35 is the time here on
Back
the East
straight.
Coast. Let's go ahead and go to a quick 2-minute commercial break.
Nope, we're going to go ahead and skip that.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Jeanne Francine. As we further discuss,
and also, I don't know if you guys know this, at 1 p.m. CST, that's 2 p.m. Eastern, okay, Biden will be speaking and doing his last hoorah. You know what I mean? It's the last speech, is his farewell. So you know what? I may or may not stream it, because I got to do the Diamond Effect tonight too. So I may or may not stream that. And that's going to be happening at 2 p.m. Eastern. So be on the lookout for that.
Latest of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. We do know that yesterday, President Joe Biden gave a briefing about how he feels and what's the latest on the ground there in the Middle East. And I will tell you all at the end, there was a question and answer portion with reporters as he was turning around to walk out.
Brother Hooked Dog, good to see you, man.
Well,
good morning.
Did this happen because of you or because of Trump? He turns back around and says, "Is that a joke?" Didn't answer their question really, but then
wait, what?
At the end, there was a question and answer portion with reporters as he was turning around to walk out. A reporter asked him, "Well, did this happen because of you or because of Trump?" He turns back around and says, "Is that a joke?" Didn't answer their question really, but then turns around and walks out from the briefing. On this Thursday morning on X, President Biden put out, "After 50 years of public service, I still believe in the idea for which our nation stands, a nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure." He goes on to say, "Now it's your turn to stand guard." As we know, we are 4 days away from his final day in office, but also it'll be the first day, inauguration day of 2025 for President.
Now, I'll be live streaming that, okay? So the inauguration, not the day, I'm not going to obviously stream the whole fucking event, but his speech, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be, I'll make sure that I give you guys the proper time. So they're saying 8 a.m. start. He'll probably start speaking at like 9 or 10 in the morning. So it'll probably be about the same time I usually go live.
Donald Trump. Don't forget, Live Now from Fox, we have you covered with that coverage starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. But before then, I will be in the host chair, setting the stage and giving you all of that compelling coverage, preparations, security measures, everything you need to know. We're going to go ahead and take our final 2-minute commercial break of the hour. When we come back.
Hell no. We get to skip right. Oh, shit. No way. All right.
Very latest from.
Here we go.
You're on the East Coast. Welcome back. I'm Jeanne Francine, taking you back out to the Middle East, a live look out in communist Gaza as we continue to follow the very latest from both sides as relates to that ceasefire agreement. The Israeli government spokesperson, David Mensa, getting into
oh boy, here we go.
Position to speak to the public. Let's listen in.
Finally, the Israeli government speaking on this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom. I'm David Mensa, Israeli government spokesman for the National Public Diplomacy Directorate here in the office of the Prime Minister on this Thursday, the 16th of January, day 468 since the start of the October 7th war and Hamas's attack on this country. Today, I'll be providing you with an update on the latest on the hostage release agreement, and then we'll have time for a few questions, just a few questions, as this is obviously a busy time for us here. Let me begin by telling you that as of this morning, the Prime Minister's office has made clear that Hamas have reneged on this hostage release agreement and has created a last-minute crisis in an effort to extort last-minute concessions. As such, the Israeli cabinet cannot meet to agree this deal. It cannot convene until the mediators notify Israel that Hamas has accepted all elements of the agreement that were already agreed. Families of our hostages have been informed today that Hamas has added further demands that contradict the agreement with the mediators. As of this time, the details of the agreement have not yet been finalized, and the negotiation team is continuing its efforts to reach a solution. The Israeli negotiating team are still in Doha as befits Israel's willingness to finalize the hostage release agreement. Therefore, no official announcement will be made by Israel about the success of these negotiations and the subsequent cabinet meeting until we do not have a finalized agreement. Even last night, the Prime Minister
that's fair.
Strongly insisted that Hamas fold their last-minute demand to change the deployment of IDF forces in the Philadelphia corridor. So important, so crucial to stop weapons smuggling to Hamas. To be clear, the government of Israel wants to finalize an agreement. We want to bring our people home, and we hope that the details will indeed be finalized. Now, if this agreement to release our hostages is finalized, it will demonstrate Israel's strength, Israel's humanity, and Israel's unwavering commitment to its citizens. It comes at a time when Hamas is at its weakest, and Israel has achieved significant strategic victories against those who threaten our nation and this region. Hamas has been decimated, their leadership has been eliminated, their rockets arsenal have been destroyed,
there's nothing fucking left.
Network has been compromised, their operational capabilities have been shattered, they are no longer the force they once.
And I'm surprised that in Gaza, I mean, Gaza is the Gaza Strip is so small, such a small little piece of land, and to be decimated and still not be able to find the hostages is fucking crazy to me. That shit is so wild.
And Iran, the driving
absolutely,
force
brother Hook Dog. Be safe out there.
Have been
back to
dealt
court.
a
Oh my
severe
God.
blow.
Still,
Indeed, many severe blows. Let me list them for you. It's nuclear.
Yep, and that's some that is a worry of mine as well. Obviously, Nitro. Good morning, by the way. Good to see you.
Ambitions have been set back. Its ballistic missile production has been disrupted. Its proxies, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iraqi militias have been deterred or neutralized.
Hit the like button, everybody.
The
Appreciate
Iranian
it.
axis of terror is collapsing.
Yes, it is.
Now, Hamas is not just Israel's enemy, it's also the enemy of the Gazan people.
Yo, brother RP. Good morning, kind sir. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well.
They have used ordinary Gazans as human shields, deliberately maximizing civilian casualties to fuel their own propaganda. They steal humanitarian aid and they sell it back to Gazans at extortionate prices. They starve and exploit their own people. Their evil knows no bounds. But Israel is not just fighting Hamas. We are liberating Gaza from Hamas's tyranny. Every strike against Hamas is a step forward towards freedom for Gazans from this brutal regime. Now, we're asked often,
oh, shit. Brother Lee is calling everybody out in the Breakfast Club, man. We got to do a quick little halt. Listen, I don't ask you guys to send in cash, money, nothing. I don't ask you guys to do none of that. I just ask you guys to hit that like button. Appreciate you guys, sincerely. It means a lot. All right, back to this.
Why this agreement has come to a head now, I'll tell you. This moment has been chosen because of Israel's military and diplomatic strength. Hamas is on the ropes, and international pressure, including President Trump's decisive stance, together with the Biden administration, have created the conditions for this agreement, if that does indeed come to pass. This is Israel acting from a position of power.
Yo, brother Gary, good morning, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing well.
We do this because every Israeli life matters, every Palestinian life matters. While Hamas dehumanizes and exploits their own people, Israel saves lives, both Israeli and Gazan. We show the world the stark difference between good and evil. Now, this hostage deal, if it isn't, this hostage agreement, if it is finally agreed, is not a concession. It's a demonstration of Israel's strength and moral clarity. Hamas's days are numbered and Gaza will be free from their terror. Israel will continue to protect its people, defend its values, and work towards a future.
Yo, Organized Insanity. Good to see you. Good morning.
And peace for this region. So that's the end of our briefing today. I will now take your questions. Please put them in the chat.
Never did none.
Your news outlet, and we've got time for just 2 or 3 questions. Okay, first question.
2 or 3 questions.
From David Clement from the News Forum in Canada. Can you elaborate on the terms that Hamas have reneged on?
Shout out Canada.
Thank you for that question. And there's another question from Haley Bull asking the same question from Scripps News. I started off this briefing telling you that Hamas have made changes even after the agreement was agreed. Now, the mediators know this. They've confirmed this as well. And they're trying to exact further compromises from Israel. But we'll be very, very straight with you. This hostage release, if it happens, the primary function of this hostage release deal is to get our people home. Those are the most important things to us. Israel has already said that it is prepared to make heavy compromises, painful compromises. And we have already said that. The US knows that, and all the other negotiators know that too. I will not be negotiating live on air, but I will tell you that Hamas have been making changes to the agreement, which has already been agreed.
Well, you heard that.
From next question here is from Chris Summers from Epoch Times. Is Israel still seeking a complete veto on release of Hamas prisoners? So thank you for that question, Chris. That information will be in the agreement when it is finally finalized. We thought we had an agreement last night. Today, Hamas have been making changes to this agreement. Now, Hamas are a jihadist organization. They are renowned for terrorism and for killing and for murdering families. They are not renowned for their keeping to deals. So when this agreement is finalized, the details of the deal will be clear for all to see. Okay, that's the last question we've got time for today. Thank you for joining us. We'll have another briefing next time, and we look forward to joining you. We'll let you know when that is. In the meantime, for interviews or for any other question, please do get in contact in the usual way. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Please do stay safe. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Israeli government spokesperson.
I'm surprised he didn't say, like, God bless and, the whole 9. Yeah, he just wanted to wrap that shit up quick.
Person David Menser talking about this breaking news that we have been bringing you, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is now postponing this Gaza ceasefire deal over a Hamas last-minute crisis. And of course, any developments on that, we will continue to bring you here on Live Now from Fox. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Christy Matino. I'll be on here for the next several hours or so, bringing you all the news and headlines. And we do have a lot set to go on here today out of Washington, D.C., as well as other parts of the world and the country.
Yep, Biden's going to be speaking at 2 Eastern.
I do want to head back over to our Fox 11 LA team right now, as they are, looks like they are, it's spacewalk. Okay, so my producers told me that it's a spacewalk. So we are just going to pivot there really quickly.
What the fuck is a spacewalk?
Jeff, can I start working on the Nader electrical?
Oh, they're doing maintenance. Maintenance, and probably I think that's at the what is that called again?
This bolt drove.
The station out there, space station.
Okay, Jess, I got good green light, 6.2 actual torque, and 1.03 turns.
Look at that, those fucking tools.
Setting. It was on Alpha 4.
How much do you think that tool right there, that drill that he's got right there, that space drill, how much do you think that thing costs?
Want me to hit it again to raise it to the...
How much do you think that motherfucker costs?
Stand by, Nick. We're talking.
It's giving exact precision on how tight it's going. International Space Station. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. 50K, David thinks. Man, at least. At least. It's got to be able to work. It's got to be able to work in
and
space.
Nick, you can just switch up to Alpha 6 and then do it one more time for us.
Okay, Alpha 6 sets.
Just over 50 minutes in today's EVA task as we hear and see
doing a little upgrade
work being done by NASA astronauts Nick Hague and Sonny Williams.
Oh yeah, big
attaching
bucks.
The replacement unit of the Rate Gyro Assembly Unit number 2 that measures the rate of angular motion of the International Space Station, making sure that the torque and all the proper settings are correct for this replacement unit.
That's pretty dope. Don't get to see this every day. You know what I mean? It's a cool way to end the stream. I like getting paid to getting laid. Yeah, hell yeah. If a hammer costs over 20,000, it's got to be. Yeah, no kidding. I still think I'm the greatest.
Hey, Jess, good green
and you're
light,
all mine.
8.2 on the actual torque, additional 11 turns.
Copy, Nick, and can you confirm green light?
Good green light.
Copy, that's a good vote. You can show your PGT.
That's dope. Yeah, no kidding, RP. Yep. We got Butchicon up in the building saying, Mr. Mike, good day. Enjoyed the stream. And hey, man, I always appreciate you for being in here, Butchicon. Seriously. Always. All of you guys that are in here. I think that was a perfect way to end the stream. You know what I mean? Just a cool little, just whatever upgrade that was happening in fucking space. All right, guys. I very much appreciate every single one of you guys. This was a bit of a shorter one. It was short and sweet in what they were trying to figure out, the ordeal between Hamas and Israel. So, listen, man, I can't thank you guys enough for hitting that like button and hanging out with us over here. Just being here, supporting that's support, man. And if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. It's also free to do so. If you guys are also new, make sure you guys follow my Instagram. This is where I do everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the behind the scenes of the show. Listen, I post all like millennial food time and all that shit. This is like better than my phone number. So hit me up over there. Definitely. If you guys are interested in Discord at all, make sure you hit that link in the description down below. As well as, listen, we're going to be rating our friend. Let's make sure that he's still live, because I've done this a few times where I've set it up and then by the time I get off, they've already gotten off. Okay, no, he's still live. Perfect. All right, so stick around. Go ahead and show some love over to real cool dude. His name is Flow State. So go show him a little love. This motherfucker is pretty funny. Go show him a little bit of love, and also make sure, I'm choking on my own spit over here. Make sure that you guys let him know that we're doing the raid over here. You know what I mean? Mike Ball raid. All right. Much love, honor, respect to all of you legends, and God bless. We'll see you guys tonight on the Diamond Effect because it got postponed. We'll see you guys tonight. There may be a small chance that I stream the Biden farewell, his speech. I may do that. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern. Just depending on what I'm doing, I may or may not do that. So with that being said, we'll see you guys at bare minimum tonight. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. wheels roll. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit.